So when it comes to luxury, the first thing you're going to think about is probably Mercedes, BMW, big cars like that. Well, today we're going to take a look at some models that you really haven't thought about. Let's say Infiniti or Lexus or some models like that. Well, a lot of people get into these cars and they turn these cars into cars that are all about luxury, all about performance, all about air ride. These cars are called VIP.
1, 2, 3.
Hey everybody, welcome to What It's Like to Drive, and today we're going to be featuring a car that is just amazing. The build of type of these cars is called VIP, and unlike Mercedes or BMWs, these guys take cars that are like Infinitis or Lexuses and they build them up. Yes, some of them actually do some of the other vehicles like Mercedes and BMW, but this is where these guys shine at, and you can tell already that there is a lot of areas that this car has been done with. This car has air ride, it has curtains, it actually has a place where you can have drinks served with you. This is something that is actually not trying to be Mercedes or BMW, it's trying to be Rolls Royce and Bentley. And the thing I have to say right up front is it actually makes it happen. That's the thing is that when you say VIP, it's VIP. And this started, a lot of it began over in Japan, and it was done by, I believe, the Yakuza to build up their stuff so they could have something that kind of blended with the populace. But I am so happy that it's something that migrated over to the States, and there's a little pocket of group of guys that are still doing this and doing it to the quality that you'd expect from, say, lowriders. And they also have the same kind of communities that build them together. So what are we going to do today? Like always, we're going to find out, one, what it's like to drive. Number two, what are the costs associated with building a car like this? And number three, what are the pitfalls that you have from having this much work done? So guys, stay tuned. We're going to hit with you right now. Okay, this is my first experience in driving a VIP car. The first thing I like about it is all the trim pieces. Unlike most cars that kind of think about minimally on interior, maybe they think a little bit about it, these cars actually do a lot more to it for the interior wise. Leather, things that really people that are thinking luxury are thinking about. It kind of takes that, I like that low rider feel of it. It kind of takes that and puts it into something that is a little bit more toned down, a little bit more pure. It's the kind of thing that I feel like I can drink wine in. And it's very comfortable for the seats. I'm really impressed with the seats, how it's set up and everything. So we're putting it in drive right now. The thing is, I got right into it. I kind of slipped into it like a glove. The V8 engine spools up really nice. I've liked these engines. Infiniti really does well when it comes to how they set up their engines. Very smooth, very linear. I love that stuff about it. And the other thing is this has an air ride system. Now, a lot of the other cars that we tested had hydraulics, they had coilovers. Well, air ride, for the ones that saw the C10 video, will know that air ride is a dream to drive. It just feels great. It's something that, like I said, I can't tell everybody, you should experience it. With the VIP cars, there's a lot of lowering that goes on to these. So it's a little bit stiffer than what I'm accustomed to, but in the same respect, air ride is air ride. You just can't go wrong with it. One other cool really thing that I love about this car is the sound of the exhaust. I love the note sound of it, and you can tell the V8 has good power, just like a luxury car should. It has that good, but that's the thing is it takes that kind of linear aspect into it. So I don't know if you can hear it real quick. Oh yeah. So that's what I'm talking about, and that's the thing is when you drive something like this, it feels really, really good. And the other thing is you can see the little door sills and things like that. I feel like I'm being pampered right now, not so much as a drive. So it's one thing to know, like, people look at me and say, well, those Mercedes and the BMWs, they do a really good job interiors. No, you don't feel like a mega rich Rolls Royce guy until you sit in something like this. And even this takes it to another level that like I said, I'm not accustomed to per se, and this is my first time really driving a good VIP car that I really like, that I can really appreciate. So that's the thing is I hope you guys can kind of take a little bit out of it right now, especially the smoothness of it. It feels really good. It's definitely something that I would consider in the future for down the road, and would definitely suggest to somebody that's looking to do a build, because, and that thing is something we're going to go into, is obviously cost effectiveness and things of that nature. There are ups and downs to cars like this. So, but in the long run, the end of the journey is usually the best part of the journey, and having sat in an end of a journey right now, and having such a good community that backs these cars, it really is enjoyable to be part of it right now. And this thing is, I really like it. I love the sound of it. Everything about it really feels right, and it's something, like I said, you should probably consider in the future. Okay, so what is it like to drive? Wow, there's something. The thing is this isn't the first time I've driven a luxury car. So you kind of say, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10 in the luxury, where does this car kind of fit? And I'm going to say it fits up there with the Rolls Royces and the Bentleys, just like I thought it would. The system is well done. It's well built. It doesn't miss any features when it's doing stuff, so you can tell there's body work done to it. There's the wheels are done to it. It is, like I said, a little bit rougher than you would expect, but that's the thing is with the weight involved in it, there's going to be a little bit of a difference there. But like I said, it was something, and I've said over and over again, if you haven't experienced air ride, you need to experience air ride, because it's something that if you're looking for comfort, it just nails it. And so, like I said, this actually gets some really high marks for drivability. It was a really good experience. It's the kind of car that I really felt I could take on the highway and just go spinning for a long time and just cruise, man. It was great. And the other thing is this car actually does trips to New Jersey and New York, and I can see why, because it's easy to drive. All right, so what's it going to cost to own a car like this? Well, it's time to open your bank account and start spilling money constantly, because this car is going to cost you money. The rims alone are $8,400. They're a special vehicle rim made by Luxury Abstract. They work perfectly with this vehicle. They're bigger than normal wheels. Of course, the air ride is going to run you a lot of money. The paint alone with the flaking is probably going to be $12,000 to put all the love into it. But the thing that really gets it is that there's a lot of things in this that you're not seeing. So if you want to stretch the outside fenders to fit the new longer wheels, that's another expense you're going to have to do. And there's little things like that all over the car. They're made specifically to fit this car and make it perfect. So it's something that's going to be a labor of love. So it's something, if you want to get into it, yes, the original vehicle, you can probably pick them up pretty cheap, but then of course it's time to work on that budget. Okay, so what is the upkeep on this car? Well, what you're going to be looking at is usually a lot of the upkeep has to do with the rims. With the three-piece rims, they're going to need a little bit more love than what you're probably accustomed to with typical rims. But for the engine is a stock engine. The air ride system is going to take a little maintenance, but you just got to keep up with it, make sure everything is good with it. And the other thing that I have to say, which is a big deal, is obviously buy a detail kit, because you want this car to look perfect. So one of the biggest things, and probably where you're going to spend your most amount of time, especially if you do shows, is when you do the detailing to this. You want this car to look perfect all the time to match exactly what it is. It's a VIP car. So if you think that upkeep on a Rolls Royce or a Bentley is too much for you, then this is probably not your car. But if you are the kind of person that spends a lot of time with toothbrushes cleaning out the interior, then this car might actually work for you, and you should consider it. So one thing that I do want to add to this is this vehicle is actually dedicated to Brendan Kennedy. He was somebody that was, he built this car, put a lot of the stuff, his heart into it, and I don't think he actually got to drive the vehicle after it was wholly complete. I think he got to use it once. And in 2011, yeah, this car's been around for a while. He got in a motorcycle accident and he lost his life. So this vehicle has been dedicated to him. So that's the one thing. It was really an honor to get to drive something from somebody that we knew that was a really great person, and somebody that we miss a lot. Okay, so that's it for what it's like to drive. I gotta say, I really love this car. I love how it handles. I might actually switch over to thinking about air ride in the future, because every time I drive air ride, I have a blast doing it. So I want to thank the owner for bringing this out for me. I want to thank everybody involved in it. I want to thank this Q45 for taking me on a great experience. I hope you guys had the same experience that I had. Don't forget to hit one of these videos over here, because we love giving you more stuff, and there's a subscribe button over there too. So thank you guys for paying attention, and I hope you learned what it's like to drive.